Hello, and welcome back to Shaping the Future. I'm Dr. Jeff Gold, and of course I have the honor of serving as the president of the University of Nebraska system. And as many of you know, this series celebrates the people who embody the university's mission, the remarkable faculty, staff, students, alumni, and, as we do today, community members who are making a difference. We like to explore the ideas and the decisions that shape the places we live through the people who lead, innovate, and imagine differently. And today's guest is someone who does all three. Mayor Leirion Gaylor Baird is now serving her second term as the 52nd mayor of Lincoln, Nebraska. Her leadership has come at a time when cities, especially mid-sized cities such as Lincoln, are grappling with how to grow thoughtfully and sustainably. With degrees from Yale and Oxford and a background in public policy and deep civil involvement at both local and national levels, Mayor Gaylor Baird brings the system's lens to city leadership. But her work is also personal. It's rooted in a belief that good government helps people coexist and reach their full potential. So today we're going to talk about the city's evolving identity, the trade-offs of growth, the role of partnership with the university, and what it really means to shape a future worth inheriting. So Mayor, thanks so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to be with you. And I have a lot of questions to ask you that I'm sure our audience will be very interested. But first, can you tell us a little bit about your background? Obviously, you had a remarkable educational training and experiences, but how did you ever make a decision to run for public office? And how is that something that your family was involved in at one time? Or was there a magic moment, a mentor, many of our audience members might wonder, that's made you say, you know, today I'm going to do this?
Well, thank you so much for having me, President Gold, and thank you for your leadership, not only within University of Nebraska, but within our community. Your University of Nebraska is so important to the city of Lincoln, so we're just delighted to be here and for all of our partnership. You know, I am the daughter of educators. My parents were high school teachers. My dad taught biology, and my mom taught English and journalism, and eventually became a school counselor. Mm-hmm. So in many ways, I had these wonderful role models growing up of people who were doing careers that helped other people, that were making a difference both in the short term and the long term of people's lives. I can't tell you how many times we'd be out in public when I was growing up and someone would come up to my dad, who also coached basketball, and say, Coach Neely, and thank them. Thank my mom, my dad, both of them for all they had done for them and the difference they'd made in their lives. So when you have that kind of role model of making life better for people, it sticks with you. And I did not have anyone in my family who was in elected leadership. I had not thought of running for office. I had sort of followed my interests. After graduation, worked in the private sector as a management consultant to get private sector experience. Mm-hmm. Worked in youth development, helping young children get the best start in life. We're trying to help kids who find that pathway to higher education and opportunity. Mm-hmm. And when I moved to Lincoln with my husband, who grew up in Superior, Nebraska, we moved here because we wanted to raise a family in a great place, and I just got more involved in the community. Really wanted to invest in the place that was home for my children and so many other children in our community. And one thing led to another. I did get encouraged to get more involved, and that started with an appointment to the Planning Commission here in Lincoln and Lancaster County, which eventually led to City Council and ultimately Mayor.
Wow. Well, we're certainly glad you did, and we're certainly glad that you're part of this great community. So, having said that, as I now live in Lincoln, as many of our audience know, that it is a really hustling and bustling community, so vibrant, and you've been a big part of that. And as we look forward to what the next several years are going to bring, where do you think the biggest opportunities are? And how does the university fit into that? I mean, I think those are the questions that I'm interested in. I know you and I have spent a lot of time talking about that, but I think our audience would like to unpack that a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, Lincoln is a vibrant city, in large part being the state capital and the home to the flagship University of Nebraska campus. We are a wonderful place to call home. And when you talk to people about what they like about Lincoln, so often the answer is it's a great place to raise a family. And I think increasingly we want that to be also a great place for young people to launch their careers. And we know it's getting great marks for being a great place to retire. We want to serve people at every stage of life. We want to be the choice and the destination for those far away, and to retain the folks that we have. We have a wonderful community of neighbors. And so I'm very interested in how the city and the university can continue to work together to make it so. Often I see the wonderful talent coming out of the university. That is a real boon to us as we try to grow our workforce. And we are trying to sort of set the table for you to attract and retain talent, your students and your faculty and staff. So I think we have a really symbiotic relationship. And we're really excited about some of the investments we're making in downtown, which is, of course, the doorstep to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. We're going to be doing major streetscape improvements on O Street. And recently, we just opened something called the Music Box in the heart of what we're building out, a music district. We know that young people like to have things to do that are fun when they're not in class. And so
But you want them to be in class, just to be on record.
We do want them to be in class. We want them to get their degrees, but we want them to love where they live while they're doing it.
And stay here.
Yes. And so we're looking for ways to make, the nightlife wonderful for young folks, and the music district with our live local music scene is a part of that.
So what'll that be like? Do you have a little bit of a aperitif that you could offer our audience? Because I think it's a really exciting idea, and I couldn't agree with you more. Having that wraparound experience will be really great. And by the way, not just for students, but for faculty and staff as well.
Absolutely. Well, in addition to making the street of 14th Street from P to N more easily suitable for outdoor live venue concerts. We have Zoo Fest coming up this summer. For events like that, Lincoln Calling. We want to also support an ecosystem for people who want to get into the music industry. So we just opened something called the Music Box with our partners at the Downtown Lincoln Association, with funding from the state through American Rescue Plan funds. And it is a performance and rehearsal space where people who want to be in a band or learn an instrument can practice and perform, or where people who want to become sound engineers and be on the production side of the music industry can learn their craft. There's real opportunities to partner with the university, with high schools in the area.
The Carson School is just absolutely first class.
Absolutely. And we have engaged with them to help make sure that this multi-purpose space can suit a variety of needs and interests. And we have state-of-the-art recording and sound equipment and great lighting and an actual stage. So we're looking forward to making this accessible.
I'll have to check that out.
More and more community members. You should.
So I understand that I'm sure many cities do, but Lincoln has a strategic plan that you've been involved with for growing businesses, for retaining talent, for structures and streetscapes and many other things. And how did that come to be? Because the university is very actively involved in strategic planning now as well, and I think you've been really able to execute on that strategic plan incredibly well.
Thank you. Yeah, when I first became mayor in 2019, my team set out to develop both a vision statement, core values, and a strategic plan for the short time we have to help guide the city and to partner with the private and philanthropic sectors to grow Lincoln. And that vision is to lead Lincoln into a more successful, secure, and shared future. Those words are very intentional. We want this to be a safe place, one that's secure against the risks associated with major climate change events. We want it to be a shared future where everyone understands how connected we are and that we're all in this together. And successful in the terms of economic opportunity and people being able to reach their full human potential. And so in the strategic plan are the kind of big pillars, the big projects and ideas that we collaborate with our talented team of directors at the city to accomplish for the people of Lincoln. And if I was going to highlight one of those in particular,
please do.
I want to point out that one of those is developing a second source of water for this community, because as we grow, and our population is growing, we just tipped over 300,000 in Lincoln, we need to make sure that we have the water, the basic need of humans, in plentiful supply to support the growth of the city, to ensure our resilience as a community, and to ensure we are able to pursue economic opportunity into the future. I convened a 27-member group of advisors from all sectors, and they made a unanimous recommendation to go to the Missouri River. And we have just executed a purchase agreement for a new site for a water treatment facility. We're working on the site for the well fields. We've ordered pipes. We're getting ready to break ground on the aspects of this project that is, multi-generational and absolutely foundational to the future of the community. That's part of our strategic plan, and it's probably something people don't think about, but if you're mayor, you're thinking about the basics, water being one of them.
And absolutely. And I so love your earlier comment about safety in the community, safety in every possible respect, but that's core to one of the basic pillars for what the university tries to do. I think when I talk to parents and future students, they want a lot of great things. They'd love us to win football games and basketball games and a few volleyball games too, by the way, along the way. But what they really want is they want to make sure that they have high-value, affordable education in a safe environment, emotionally safe as well as physically safe. And that's very important, and that's where, among many, many areas, where our partnership with the City of Lincoln comes in. I just want to thank you for the partnership and thank you for joining us today on this recording. And I want to thank our audience as well. If there's one thing that this conversation has absolutely reinsured, is that a city like Lincoln isn't just growing in population, but you're growing in complexity, you're growing in creating opportunities for our students, for our faculty and its staff, and it's we're just very proud to be a partner. So thank you for being with us today. And to our audience, thank you so much for being with us today, and we'll see you next time.